So this is some reference here. And again, I can just using my hand, but also some reference will be helpful for sure. And this kind of a scan data is, well, it's really good to see. It's basically a perfect reference and not like prefer to copy, but still, I'd rather check my own hand or even like for reference. But still, I mean, those 3D scans are probably the best reference. So on the hand, my fingers have some or tendons kind of going across into the center. So I usually start with those things. I mean, it's gonna be blended and then basically flattened out later, but just to see which is kind of facing where. So I just marked it. And then they are mostly like boxy shape in a way. So once I marked it, and I will start like flattening out a bit. You just polish wash. And this is maybe probably the reason why it's sometimes better to using the Maya like poly model base hand and then bring it to the ZBrush for further sculpting. So we can get nice topology and then good structure of the finger as a starting point. So this is probably the highest position, and then this should be lower. So I bring this part down. Yeah. So the boxy shape is kind of there. I still trying to build some pinky and some fingers, but basically top side of the finger is more flat based on the center. So this is basically top facing, and then this is side facing, and then also this bottom and this is the other side. So this is basically four sides of the face. The bottom side is a bit more rounder than top, but that's how the boxy shape is gonna be made. palm area is quite flat, of course, so make sure the small dents or bumps can be very gentle. Tendon is really visible right here, and then it's kind of blends in another joint. Just gonna draw two lines here. And then there's a corresponding side on top. So make sure they are aligned. Just make sure they are not too bumpy, otherwise it's gonna be like Krisher's hand or finger. There's not much details just yet, but just give them like proper joint position, and then tiny bit of details. It's not even like core detail, can't even core detail, but like marking the joints, and then it's already start look like fingers and hands. So no need to get like too much detail to make it look like fingers or hands. Just make a proper proportion, and that's probably just good enough for halfway. Then it's pretty important to remember they are just essentially the cylinders. So this kind of joint should be very gentle. I mean, there's a small bit of a undulation goes on around the finger, especially there's a bit of bulge out around the joints, but it doesn't really break the flow of the finger. So that's what you need to looking for. Okay, one finger is almost there. Well, I guess it's not like really detailed just yet. Part of the reason is I don't want to spend too much time just yet. And also the resolution of the body doesn't really support. So this is just the amount of progress that I want to get for all the fingers. It depends on the shot later, and the shot camera. If it's not holding up, then I might retoggle the hand separately and then sculpt hand over so you can get enough of detail. It could be fine also. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell at this point. Depends on the texture that I'm gonna place. Might be looks fine as well. It's still very rough, but I got the initial details or shape that I wanted. So I think I can move on to the other pieces, and then we're most likely coming back to the hands and then update the detail. But yes, it's okay for the first pass. Yeah, it's very tedious work. So I will probably sculpt once or twice and then reuse the hands that I already done and probably just enhance the sculpture rather than like making from scratch every time. But again, it can be fun sometimes. And the best thing is always the reference is right in front of your eye. For the lower leg, there is the tipping point, which is here on the outside. Then interior is a bit lower, so there's a sort of tilted peak happens on the inside and outside. So which is one is here and one is kind of lower down here. So no need to, I mean, it would be great to know all the muscles and then how they flow, how they shape, but if you can remember all the stuff, then at least you can remember these basic tips and where they kind of goes in. So this simple flow and then points will help a lot to define the leg. So there's a bit of then here, which makes slanted line like this. Same goes outside. So this very simple straight line makes the leg more like becoming like a more believable leg. For the breast, I will be kind of shrink down a bit. because she's gonna be wearing the mirror plate mirror, and then it's gonna be probably give some compression, so it's gonna be more compressed look. And just small bit of volume should be fine. Okay, so I'll export this mesh out and then start working on the armor pieces. Might come back and then adjust some body shape, depends on armor placement goals. Using the just subdivision 1, maybe 2. Then also the head. Again, make sure that there's no polygroup. So just group visible and export this out.